Tom Brady has many nicknames. TB12, Tom Terrific, Touchdown Tom, Comeback Kid, Comeback Sir, Skip's favorite, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. But my favorite, GOAT. For the reason that is what Tom Brady is. That is what he is, guys. The greatest of all time. The GOAT, Tom Brady. And I'm going to let you guys know every last bit of why Tom Brady is the GOAT, is the greatest quarterback of all time. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why with the statistics, the analytics, all of it. So let's start this video. Tom Brady is the GOAT. That's literally his nickname. Yeah, GOAT. That means greatest of all time. Tom Brady has already had 14 times into the Pro Bowl, a 3-time All-Pro, and a 6-time Super Bowl champion. And what other quarterback has ever done that? But that's not a backup quarterback. Well, not even a backup quarterback has ever made it as many times as Tom Brady. Oh, how many times, you might ask? Well, 10 times to the Super Bowl. And when was the last time he made it? Oh, yeah, this season. Tom Brady, at the age of 43, is already still considered maybe a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And that's at the age of 43. And guys, I'm going to name you guys some players that played to the age of 43. And I want to see what you guys think about when they were still in the NFL. Doug Flutie, Warren Moon. Tell me about them in the comment section below. Let me know. What are they all about? Otherwise, Tom Brady in his career has played 301 games, 64 completion percentage, and 79,204 passing yards with, let's not forget to mention, 581 touchdowns. Tom Brady in his first season as a starting quarterback for the New England Patriots already had a Super Bowl. Yes, Tom Brady in his first season as a New England Patriot won a Super Bowl. Why, you might ask? Well, because Drew Bledsoe was injured. Got injured in a Jets versus the Patriots game, and Tom Brady had to take over. Yeah, Tom Brady took over in the middle of a game and went all the way to the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots, a team that really made it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they made it to the Super Bowl twice, but lost both times. Yeah, literally. Tom Brady, to be honest, is the greatest quarterback of all time, and I just cannot believe that people still try to argue about Joe Montana and all these other quarterbacks. Yet, I see nothing compared, or you can even try to compare when it comes to Tom Brady. People might say, oh, I look for perfection when it comes to the GOAT. So I mentioned Joe Montana that has made it to Super Bowl 4 times and won it 4 times. That's amazing and that is great. But can we actually realize the type of players that Joe Montana played with? Joe Montana played with Hall of Famers. Joe Montana had a Hall of Fame coach. And you might say, hi, Jay, you really caught yourself there because Tom Brady has played with Hall of Famers and Tom Brady has played with the Hall of Fame coach. Yes, you are correct. But those Hall of Fame players, let me remind you, you might say, pop out of your head, maybe Wes Welker, and you also might say Randy Moss. Well, let me also remind you that before those two players made it to the New England Patriots and played with Tom Brady, they weren't even talked about any longer. I don't know if you remember, but Randy Moss and the Raiders, everybody said, oh, he should retire. Well, he came to New England and Tom Brady threw him 17 touchdowns in just one season. Wes Welker, yeah, he was in Miami, and who really even thought he was relevant? Until Tom Brady caught him, and basically now we all know who Wes Welker is. After Wes Welker left, tell me who really talked about Wes Welker in the Denver Broncos? Not me, at least. And not any people that I really talked to during that time. And oh my goodness, how can I forget? Do you guys remember that blowout loss? Seahawks versus the Denver Broncos? Yeah. Wes Welker was part of that team. Now, can you really remind me when was the last time that Tom Brady was ever really blown out? Yeah, you might say this season versus the New Orleans Saints, but I'm talking about in the Super Bowl. Yeah, guys, that has never happened. So you want to name Peyton Manning an all-time great quarterback and say that, oh, Peyton Manning is also up there. Well, you can't really put him up there because he played great and amazingly awesomeness in the regular season. But when it came down to tightening up your pants and trying to win a Super Bowl, yeah, Peyton Manning, you're 2-2. Great record you got there, huh? Tom Brady, in his first 3 Super Bowls that he made, he won all 3. Then, yes, he did lose 2 consecutive Super Bowls. Yes, that is true. But we cannot forget that after that, Tom Brady won 3 more Super Bowls and only lost once after that. That's against the Philadelphia Eagles, but was it really Brady's fault? Because Brady did throw above 500 yards that game. Something that, no other quarterback has ever done in a Super Bowl. Tom Brady did that in just that one game. Guys, I don't think it's an argument any longer. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. And if you really want to talk about records and this and that, and you might say, oh, Patrick Mahomes will break them. But if Tom Brady wins this Super Bowl, I say this right now, which I believe he will. If Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes can never, in his whole entire career, catch up to Tom Brady. Now you say, oh, that is false. That is not true. Well, how is it that a 43-year-old quarterback is going to beat you that is 25 years of age and supposed to be the best quarterback in the league, and you want to catch up to him when he's supposed to be falling off a cliff? Am I right, Max Kellerman? Yeah, you backed off of your theory ever since Tom Brady, well, shut you down and shut your theory down and told you to your face, basically, that I'm still not done. So people really want to talk about that Patrick Mahomes will be the greatest quarterback of all time, this and that, and he could be the greatest quarterback of all time in his classroom. Because Tom Brady is in a whole different class. I mean, do you guys remember, can I really explain to you that Tom Brady was picked in the 6th round? Doubts of him never to ever even start in a football game. A quarterback that really proved to everybody already in college in Michigan that he is actually a great quarterback by completing amazing comebacks and helping Michigan win multiple games. And yet, here we are, still trying to hold on and say that Tom Brady is not the GOAT. That is very, very interesting of how people speak about Tom Brady and say that there's so many other quarterbacks that are better than him. No, I get it. Tom Brady is not as athletic as Lamar Jackson. Does not have the mobility of Patrick Mahomes. And maybe doesn't have the mobility nor of Aaron Rodgers. And Tom Brady admits that himself. When it comes to physical strength or whatever it may be, Tom Brady will never be the greatest at that. Or when it comes to speed, well, neither. But when it comes to winning games, winning championships, and doing whatever it takes, then you have no choice but to give it to Tom Brady. I will leave a link in the description below, letting you guys see a clip of him talking to Ronnie Harrison. And Ronnie Harrison himself saying that he couldn't compete with Tom Brady when it came to training, when it came to practicing, because every time that Ronnie Harrison would come in earlier to the gym in the pitcher's facility, Tom Brady was already there. Doesn't that already tell you Tom Brady's work ethic? I mean, that's just outstanding. I don't really think that anybody in the NFL right now can say that another quarterback is better than Tom Brady. Because quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes himself said in a press conference, Tom Brady is the greatest, and then try to correct himself and say one of the greatest of all time. But be honest with yourself, Patrick. Can you really complete everything of what Tom Brady has completed in his whole entire career? I do not believe so. Now Tom Brady is behind when it comes to the passing record behind Drew Brees, just about 800 yards. But question, don't you think that Tom Brady will break that record just next season? And you might say, oh, but somebody could break that record. Sure. But can they break that record the way that Tom Brady did? With receivers and options that he really didn't have enough good ones in his career. Now you might say, well, Aaron Rodgers didn't have that. Guys, Aaron Rodgers had Greg Jennings. Aaron Rodgers also did have, or still has, Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers did have Jordy Nelson. Aaron Rodgers did have primetime Randall Cobb. Aaron Rodgers did have on the defensive side Charles Woodson. Aaron Rodgers did also have on the defensive side Clay Matthews. Aaron Rodgers did have as a coach, which he won a Super Bowl with, Mike McCarthy. So, Aaron Rodgers did have many possible weapons. And if you want to talk about this season, well, Aaron Rodgers did have Devontae Adams and did also have Aaron Jones. So, yet, here we are to argue that Tom Brady is not better than Aaron Rodgers. When it comes to, as I said, athletic ability or mobility or having the greatest arm, Tom Brady has none of that. Compared to Aaron Rodgers, sure, you might say that. Then take all the credit away from Tom Brady. But also remember this thing that Robert Kraft already said, that Tom Brady, when he came into that office of Robert Kraft, he already said, Robert Kraft said, I apologize, that, oh yeah, you're the 6th round pickup that they picked. And Tom Brady said, yes, I am. And I'm the greatest decision this franchise has ever made. And Tom Brady didn't just talk the talk. No, he walked the talk. Tom Brady did prove to everybody in the New England Association and in the NFL that he is the greatest of all time. Now the NFL wanted to cut ties with him and put him in a 4-game suspension. Tom Brady said, all right, thank you for giving me more time to rest my body, to rest my arm, and thank you for giving me more time to train. Now I'm going to prove all to you guys that I'm the greatest quarterback of all time. And what does Tom Brady do? Oh, well, simply just go to the Super Bowl and win it once again. And when everybody was doubting him when he was down 28-13, Tom Brady decides to come back and win a Super Bowl that everybody thought was impossible against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons cheering and being happy, thinking, oh, we've got it in the bag. All the way until Tom Brady, the GOAT himself, goes on the other side of the field and says, now I'm going to show you what I got. Guys, if you want a part 2 of this video, because I cannot really clearly give you all the information in just one video about Tom Brady's greatness, please leave a like below, subscribe, and comment below letting me know if you think I should make another video about Tom Brady's greatness and why he is the GOAT. Please let me know in the comment section below. And as always, guys, love sports.